Is gonna be a great episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Positivity Report. We have been trying to get these two ladies in studio for I don't know, Ken. I think so. I know the date because my parents were in town. We were talking to me before the cameras were rolling. We were moving houses, and I said, guys, Gene Trebek is coming on the Positivity Report because I told you before the cameras roll, your husband is the inspiration. He's the reason that I do what I do. And so my mom was like, get out of here. She's coming on. It was like in like 2 weeks. And that was April the 10th.
Now
here we are. G. Trebek, Alison Martin from InsideWink. Thank you both for coming and being on the show. I love your site. So here's what happened. I think I was on Instagram, and I saw you share an interview with Maria Shriver.
Right.
And I was like, well, if she's doing interviews with Maria Shriver, maybe they want to be interviewed. So I reached out and just sent a blind email, and I was like, these never work, right? So I have to like start tracking people down. You guys got back to me like right away, and I was like, yes! I called Ken, I called Mark, I was like, it's happening, we're doing it. So thank you for being here. Thank
5
you
months
so much.
later.
We're here.
Right, exactly.
Emma, who works with you all, she and I now have like an email love affair, mostly just getting you guys into our studio.
That's right.
So thanks for being here. We had an amazing conversation before the cameras roll. That's why everybody always says save it for the show. But thank you again. And your website is fantastic. Tell everybody about InsideWink, and I'm going to give you a little theory as what I think the InsideWink is.
Okay. What it means?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
good.
So don't tell me until you tell everybody how this all started.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeannie?
Okay, so I was working on a film,
Okay.
a film all about forgiveness.
Okay.
And how great is it that Maria Shriver's daughter
Yeah.
wrote a book about forgiveness?
Sure.
So it's really, really important. It transcends all religions and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what Alison and I were working on.
Okay.
But we were having a hard time hanging the interviews we got. I got an interview with Ed Asner, Lou Gossett Jr., and a lot of just wonderful visionaries. But there was no B story, no story to hang and we just didn't want a bunch of talking heads. So Alison actually said, why don't we do not a podcast,
I don't know, like just like something like live that was constantly changing.
Okay.
And we came up with an idea for a website.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been crazy great.
Yes.
You know,
So little snippets of forgiveness are tucked in, little interviews, little things with, what Ed Asner says, and he says, Gene, I am the last person that should be talking about forgiveness. But actually his interview is awesome.
Yeah.
Like Let It Go.
I mean, legend.
Yeah,
Legend.
right?
He's amazing, man.
I don't think, Ken, if you met anybody that didn't know Ed Asner, I would think they're lying.
He's a hero of mine.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
grouchy, lovable curmudgeons, and that's Ed Asner.
I don't like spunk. And my husband used to say that when I get a little like.
Yeah.
He said, Jeannie, I don't like I don't do spunk. Alex would say that, I don't do spunk.
And how did you two meet?
okay, you're so sick of this story. We were in a book club,
Okay.
and
See, we need to get in a book club, Ken.
There you go.
it was a book. It was a Course in Miracles. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, so it's a great book, but it's
a
like
book
it's
about
really
forgiveness.
thick.
Okay.
It's about forgiveness. And we're
I get the theme. I get it.
and Jean, I just knew her as Jean. She was
Okay.
married to some guy named Alex,
Okay.
and we became really good friends for like a year. And then the Emmys happened.
Okay.
And she shows up at the thing, and she's like, "Did you see Alex? Did you see what he was wearing and his tie?" And she's talking about his speech, and I'm thinking, God, she likes Jeopardy. Huh? Like she's into this, right? And she's talking, and I'm looking. I said to my friend, she really takes this guy seriously. And she's like, I'm like, why? Like, why? And then I found out that they live together and they're married. So
That's
there
amazing.
you go. Yeah.
Yes.
So and then we just got along really well. We're
Good.
both from New York.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Did you grow up in the city? Did you guys grow up?
I grew up in Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Bronx.
In the Bronx.
Yeah.
Good Italian girl from the
Yeah.
Bronx.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
We were talking about the Bronx Tale this morning, weirdly
Hmm.
enough. And So Long Island, Bronx, New York, you're in Los Angeles. I mean, the energy from East Coast people, we magnetize.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
have too many friends from the East Coast that are all out here that we've all become friends. I'm like, we need to make friends with Los Angeles people.
Well, we all are raising Los Angeles
There you
people,
go.
right?
Perfect.
Like she's got 2 kids. I've got 2 kids. You have that. You have a
little
lovely daughter.
Rosie.
They're going to be LA people,
I know, right?
right? Like my son didn't see snow for many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. I mean, I did not see snow. I was born in January. I was like thrown into a snowdrift on my way out of the hospital. Yeah. I mean,
And you live there.
and I lived there.
And they
for
found
my-
you in the spring.
Uh-huh. Yeah. For my like entire junior year, my friend bet me that I wouldn't wear shorts the entire year. And so on a bet,
No.
I'm a gambler, right? This whole thing is a gamble. Every like life,
Yeah.
treat it like a gamble. I wore shorts all through. I'd leave the house in like -10, -5, my zero. I was like, you're going to get really sick, and this is going to be all your fault because you're a stupid idiot and you bet it. And guess what the bet was? It was like a breakfast at King's Family Restaurant. It wasn't like that big of a deal. So InsideWink, all right, this is InsideWink is that like just between me and you, like one of those. Is that what InsideWink is, or am I wrong?
It's a little deeper.
Okay, talk to me.
It's a little deeper. I'm going to say that InsideWink is about looking beyond the physical appearance and what's really going on with people, because there is something good within all of us that wants to come forward.
Okay.
So it's sort of the idea of like a modern day namaste, right? Like
Sure.
the good in me sees the good in you.
Oh,
It's like, like, and that's
I love that.
That's the inside wink. Like,
okay.
like
I got you.
Right?
I got your goodness.
This.
Like,
Right, I got you.
acknowledge that. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
there's something good going on
Yeah.
there.
I like that.
And sometimes, so the forgiveness part is like sometimes you just gotta forgive to get to
Right.
yeah.
It is so easy to hold on to, like grudges. It
Oh,
really
yeah,
is.
right?
And you are the only one that
Can't.
suffers from
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Most people move like, you know.
People don't think
Yeah.
about the grudges that we think about. There's people out there that don't think we have a grudge, right? And here I am trying to like just push that away. My wife tells me all that, like I have road rage. I get it, right?
Right.
Like I was born into a road rage family. My mom has road rage. My dad suffers through the road rage that my mom has. A couple of years ago, my mom gave up road rage for Lent. It lasted like all of 24
Wait,
hours. Like,
she gave up road rage?
for Lent. Like she was trying
Like
to
a
be
thing?
better.
Like-
you know, that Catholicism in all of us, right? That's like, hey, for the next 40 days, I'm going to give up chocolate. My mom was like, I'm going to give up yelling at people from my car. And I was like, you know what, Mom? Listen, if that's the baby steps it takes you to give up road rage, great. And so the same thing though, when it's that John Mulaney joke of like you hold the grudge and then you die, right? It's like you hold it forever.
Right.
But if you can, and I have texted and called people that haven't talked to, or the beautiful thing about social media, sometimes you reach out to people like, you know what? I was mean to you at one point and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Because I was a different time. And as you grow older,
Yeah.
you know, since having Rosie, my patience level has gone through the roof. Like
Yeah.
I used to have a bit of a short fuse, right?
Right.
My little daughter, every day is this unbelievable blessing. Like I love to wake up with her. I don't care what time it is.
Right.
Usually before 6 in the morning, I was awful. Now she's like 6:15. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. Bottle. Boom. And she's so sweet in the morning. Like she just is so smiley. And every day is like, I don't look forward that much. I don't look back at all. Like every day with her, I'm just like, I'm trying to get what I need to get done because I have a little 4-month-old girl.
Right.
And she doesn't care. She just wants her dad by her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
She's in the moment.
She really is.
Yeah.
And learning that, like my road rage has gone down at least 50%. I'm
Yeah.
just like, especially when she's in the car.
So
and
it's down to 100. That's great. That's great. That's great.
You know,
Thanks, Ken.
the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco,
course.
like
Oh,
so
yes.
he does that awesome skit with road rage.
Yeah.
And he's like, look what you are doing to me
Correct.
as you're driving
Yes. I don't want to be that person. I'm so nice to everybody all of the time. I get behind the wheel of a car and I'm just like, you gotta let it
Why
go.
though? What is the car?
I don't know.
But like, what is it? Like, what are you like in a tank that you can be
No,
that?
it's a
way?
Honda Civic. I don't
What? But I don't know. But what gives you that?
Again, I think it was born into me. My
Really?
uncle, like it's just an Italian my Italian family has
Yeah.
insane road rage.
What did they have, like carriage road before cars? Like what were they
I
yelling
think my
from
grandpa had a
horses?
Buick for a minute and then a Cadillac. No, I don't know. I think it's like a patience thing. I think it's we're all right behind the wheel. Like we're the right ones behind the wheel. You're wrong. And I'm like, you
Right.
know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Just, you
Yeah.
know.
And also, this shouldn't be happening.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's a huge mindset.
Yeah.
You know, rather, well, this is what's happening. Can I do something about it? No. So,
Just let
but
it.
it's, yeah.
But it is very hard.
It is
I don't know.
challenging to do that sometimes.
And sometimes you want, especially as long as we've worked in the internet, some people in the comments just don't get it.
Really?
Right? Oh no, not at all.
Meaning that they like road rage and want to hang on to
No,
it?
no. Like anything in general. Like when I make a joke, they're like, "That wasn't a very good joke." I'm like, "It was not meant to be a very good joke. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be a stupid dad joke."
Right.
Right.
My whole life has been built on like, I'm kind of just like a lovable dummy. Right.
And is it working for you?
It's working fine, I think.
That's
I
good.
know, right?
That's good.
So when did the website get off the ground? When did we do it all?
We launched November 11th, 20,
Like, yeah, two or 3 years ago, right?
2017.
It's
I'll
flown
say.
by.
Yeah.
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 And you guys talk every day.
Many
At
times.
least.
Yeah.
At least.
Many
That's awesome.
times every day.
No.
Okay.
And we just we crack each other up, and then we cry, and then we laugh, and then something happens, and then we hang up, and then we work for 20 seconds, and then the dog does something over here. It's just like that.
You're describing ADED very well. It's fantastic. And like running any kind of website or company, it's the same
Yeah.
kind of a thing. You love, you cry,
Yeah.
you laugh, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm a big crier. So,
Really?
oh,
Is your wife?
no.
She's
She cries, but not on my level of crying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I have
Yeah.
it's like right before something happened, I go like, and I just kind of start crying. She's like, you can't do that anymore.
Were you weepy before we came in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always kind of weepy.
Really?
A little bit. Yeah, like this.
Josh, I want to give you a hug.
Yeah, we love you,
I love
Josh.
that.
Josh, oh, we love you.
Yeah. What a
No,
nice-
I'm an emotional guy,
Yeah.
obviously, and so I love. I think Jimmy Valvano in the '80s said it. You laugh, you cry, you think. Every day it's a full day. That's a heck of a day.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think we all go through our private struggles. I think we all go through our public struggles.
Indeed. Yeah.
I think we go through our public happiness and our public sadness.
Yeah.
Private and public, whatever. And I think that as a man, we were told don't show emotion.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
that has been changing over the last 30 years. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. And I think that for me, now that I have a daughter, I want her, and I like every time she does something, I start crying. Like every time she does something cute. I mean, it's hard not to wake up every morning with that
Yeah.
smile little face and not get a
Yeah.
little cry.
It's going to be hard when she's 30, though.
Oh my God!
yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be bad.
that wedding. Oh my
Yeah.
God! Now you now.
And look at all her uncles that.
I know.
All of you guys,
Her-
all of you are going to be crying.
Uncles will
You're
be-
all right.
Mark very
checking out
comfortable.
everyone
Wait, wait.
she dates.
Does Ed Asner cry? Because then I'll cry. I don't know if Ed cries.
I've brought her in here multiple times, and she's always on the podcast on Thursdays because Ken, my wife, and I do a podcast on Thursdays. It's called The Afternoons. So it was just started as Ken and I. We got fired from the same job on the same day.
Seriously?
And, yeah, because we were working for the same company.
Oh,
Six
right.
of us at one time in a room. It was great.
It was
Classic.
great.
Wow.
It was a classic group firing.
Classic, yeah.
It was
Except for the
great.
guy who was late from lunch and came back and said, "What's going on?" I said, "We'll get you next." It's a great day.
You're
Out of-
fired.
But out of that,
But
out
out
of
of
that,
that-
we found the good. We
Right,
found what
we-
to do and go forward.
We did.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was meant to be, maybe, right?
Exactly.
Oh, totally. It's a great
Taking
thing.
lemons
Right.
and making lemonade.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And then throwing vodka in it.
Well, it's like you just said, Gene. Like sometimes you can't. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go forward.
Yeah.
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 Right.
And so we got fired, and we started a podcast, Ken and I. And then I had to move to New York to shoot the show for History Channel, Eating History. And Ken and my wife stepped in for me in my
Oh.
absence. And then when the show was over, Ken's like, "Well, we can't just like fire your wife." I was like, "No." So it went to Josh,
you're
Ken,
right
and
about
Amanda.
that.
Correct. Yeah.
And then Rosie.
And then now Rosie's a part of the podcast. She pooped on air 2 weeks ago, which
Nice.
was hilarious.
Who
Yeah.
hasn't, though?
Right, I
really?
know,
Really?
right?
Right. So what difference?
We've
you
all
know?
pooped our pants at one point. Isn't
Yeah.
that kind of life?
Yeah.
Figuratively and
happens.
literally.
It happens.
Gene says it happens.
Shit happens.
it does.
It really does. So yeah, I think starting this whole adventure that we're starting here and the things that we do on this channel and the things that, and we were talking about before, is people really learn to embrace hate very young. And that's very unfortunate, right? In many different cultures. But trying to move people in a direction that is positivity, right? The point of the show, the point of this channel is a huge undertaking. I think so.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys might see it in what you do.
Oh, and, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I think the two really parallel. And I think it, like any energy, it feeds off of each other.
Right.
And I actually see a lot more positivity because that's what I'm drawn to.
Right.
But I know if I'm looking for something to complain about, that's there as well.
What's funny is we get a lot of submissions. Like we get a lot of people, writers.
Oh, they're amazing.
And they'll write stuff and they'll say, here it is. And it'll be like, you know, I'm walking down the street and my dog was hit by a car and my dog died. And I'll be like, well, we're really looking for like what I'm so sorry that happened.
Tough,
And then
yes.
was there like a lesson or like did something happen?
Sure.
And they will write back and say, you know, I never have thought of stuff that way. And I think, wow, like I've always thought of stuff that way.
Right.
Do you know? And it's been very interesting to see. And then they'll rewrite it and then they'll be like, my story made me cry because I never saw the connections and that brought me closer to my mom. And like it's sweet then,
Right.
do you know?
Yes.
And it's all, I think it's always all right there,
Right.
do you know?
No, we talk a lot about like introducing things to people, right? Like I
Yeah.
can't wait to introduce my daughter to like things that I love.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I
Right.
love golf. I want Daddy Daughter's Day to be golf days. But if she wants to dance, I can crush her wedding dance floor like nobody's business. Like,
Right.
Whatever she wants to do. But like the introduction of those things brings you back to how you were introduced to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know, the first movie my dad took me to in a theater was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade in 1989. I was 7. Was that responsible? I don't know. Maybe. It wasn't exactly R-rated, but it wasn't
Right.
PG.
Right.
And then I became obsessed with trying to find like archaeology digs
Yeah.
in our backyard, right?
Yeah.
Digging holes in the backyard, all that kind of stuff. And so when I watch that movie or I watch anything like that, I immediately like think about my dad and then
Yeah.
I get emotional. And then, you know, I think about introducing my daughter to those things and then I get emotional. So the lessons that are learned throughout, whether it's tragedy, happiness, all that kind of thing, losing a dog, losing a family member, the lessons that you learn, personally, I think, are so important to pass on to other people as
Yes.
well. And I think that the outlet that you have and that we have and that we're doing, I think is just equally as important.
What's so moving to me, and we talk about this all the time, is how human beings get through stuff. That makes me cry. We have met so many people that you go, oh my gosh, like this person is amazing just by getting through loss or tragedy or things that would seem like they're going to break them.
Yeah.
And they do it.
They persevere.
Like humans are
Yeah.
great. Like they are.
Well said,
right?
Allison. Well,
Like aren't they great
humans are
though?
great. Yeah, they are. You're right. We're strong people.
Yeah.
I think, we've all had our battles. Ken's had his battles.
Yeah.
Mark has had his battles. Every day is, you wake up and you just fight for the good, and you just kind of, it's hard. Sometimes it's really hard. Like, listen,
It's a decision.
It is.
Yeah, you have to
yes.
make a decision if to have a good attitude.
Yeah.
To go, I know that not to deny what happened to you or what you're, but actually I get this. This is where I'm at. But I'm also not gonna. Who am I in relation to this?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to
Yeah.
show up with. Not, sure, have your pity party, but then let that go. Have time for that, and I also think doing something for another person is really helpful.
Yeah.
When you can't get out of your own story, which has happened to me, which has happened to even Alex. People think Alex is, just like this walking computer, like this robot that just knows. And he was a super smart man, but he had, he was an emotional guy. He had a lot of, he was a guy.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't just, put on a suit and crank you up. And,
Right.
and
I love that he drove a truck to work.
he drove a truck. And Alex would say, we all have two ways of looking at something.
Mm-hmm.
One is I'm a victim of this, or, I'm just going to have that
Surrender.
experience and
Yep.
move on.
Yeah. I have to tell you a story. So a few years ago, I've been talking about wanting to be the next host of Jeopardy since I was 10 years old, right?
Nice.
And when Alex announced that he was thinking about retiring, right, the collective world exploded.
True.
Right? Everybody. And I'd been talking about it on a podcast that my dream job was to be the next host of Jeopardy. That was all I wanted to do. And so a friend of mine worked at Sony, and I had these stickers. I'll give you guys some stickers and some buttons that said Josh Macuga for Jeopardy, right? Shot a little teaser of myself hosting a Jeopardy at our old studio.
That's funny.
And that's why I started Joshpardy. It's a crazy not version of Jeopardy at all. It's trivia-ish. It's like half real trivia, half just questions based on my opinion. It's kind of silly, but it's very fun. It's like the fastest game show on the internet is what we call it. Anyway, so I made these buttons, and Jimmy McGuire from the Clue Crew is from Pittsburgh.
Great guy.
Amazing guy,
Yeah.
right? So my friend that worked at Sony got me the producer in the front row seats, right, for a taping of Jeopardy. And so my wife and I went, and we had little buttons on our suits, and Jimmy's walking around. He had a Steelers lanyard with his badge, and I was like, "You from Pittsburgh?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where'd you grow up?" We start talking. Like anybody from Pittsburgh, it's just like, I know this person, you know this person,
Right,
whatever.
right.
And he's like, "What are those buttons?" And I said, "Oh, I'm campaigning to be the next host of Jeopardy." So he's like, "Give me some pins. Do you have any?" I was like, "Yeah, hold on." I pulled out my suit pocket. I gave him a bunch of pins. So he hands them to the writers and the producers in the front row, and then one of the women that worked in production came around. She's like, "Josh," and she worked on Dr. Phil, and I was on I hosted this pilot for Dr. Phil a long time ago. Anyway, we start talking, and in the middle of the shows, Alex would talk to the crowd, and so he said, usually I ask questions from the crowd, but I have to start. Since I announced that I was, thinking about retiring, everybody wants my job, and there's a guy in the crowd that really wants my job.
Oh my God.
Could he stand up? And my wife grabbed my leg. She's like, "It's not you." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's me." So I stand up, and he's like, talk about the buttons. He asked me, a few questions, and it was during the team tournament, right? And so he's, like, "Good luck with everything." And he turned around, and I sat down kind of in a daze, and everybody's like, "Yeah, let's do that guy. Let's do it. And it was just like that magical moment of like the world kind of colliding.
That's so sweet.
And
Yeah.
and it all, and we got in the car, and my wife was like, "Can you believe that fucking happened?" I was like, "I don't know, babe. You put it out in the world, and things happen." And it was
Yeah.
just like the coolest day. And
Nice.
since all that, and everybody, my whole life is like I said, one big gamble. And so we got in entertainment to do the things we loved, right? And I watched Jeopardy every night, and it's my love for Jeopardy started with my grandma Rose, because we would go and stay at her house in the summertime for like 2 or 3 weeks, and we would watch Jeopardy. And a little kid who's 10 years old, my grandma let me play, but then she, as I got older, I got pretty good
Yeah.
at the game. And so she would keep a scoreboard, and we would talk, and all through, we would talk all the time about Jeopardy. She was the kind of woman that did the New York Times crossword in pen. She was very smart. She was a librarian in town, so
Right.
very well read and everything. And we played Jeopardy against each other, like
Wow.
grandson and grandma, right? And so when I, was moving to Los Angeles, she was really cool. She was a singer in the USO during World War II. She was part of the
that is cool.
Women's Army Corps as well. So she would walk in all the Labor Day or the Memorial Day parade and all that kind of stuff. And her stage name was Peggy Palmer when she was in the war.
And what was her real last name?
Macuga, well, it was Peluso, but then it
Right.
became Macuga.
Lots of vowels.
Yeah, tons of
Yeah,
vowels.
yeah.
All those Pittsburgh Italians moved to one steel mill. And she chose that stage name because she didn't want people knowing her real name, the soldiers to know her real name. And so my grandpa came up after a show, and he goes, "I know your name's not Peggy Palmer, but I'm going to find it out because I know you're not going to tell me." And she said, "Well, if you keep working, I'll tell you my real name." So during the war, they kept in correspondence the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
And they got married in Germany right after the
Wow.
war. And
That is so sweet.
and she didn't tell him her real name until the 5th letter
Really?
from in the war.
Good for her.
I know, right?
You
Yeah.
have a lot of family connections through entertainment.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Like the movie thing, and now this.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
So, my little daughter, who she's named after, so, first night in the hospital, Jeopardy comes on in the hospital room, and we're sitting there watching, and she's like, "Don't put the baby's face towards the TV." And I was like, "I know, but it's Jeopardy." And she's like, "Well, she can hear it. It's fine." And every night, still, a very strong tradition in our
Yeah.
house, and
Beautiful.
I think that show changed a lot of lives. I think it really did, and I think it, your husband was in everybody's living room,
Yeah.
6 nights a week, and he became part of everybody's family.
Yeah, he really did, and I don't think he realized up until the end the enormous impact the show had. I mean, I think they were aware of it, and I think he was very proud. I know, I shouldn't even say it. I know he was so proud to be part of this show, and it really is a teamwork show. The producers, everyone, makeup and hair, they're just such a tight, wonderful family, and it shows, the show. Not that it had its, I'm sure, I don't even know, but it was something to be proud of. If you said, I watched Jeopardy, you didn't have to look away or...
Right. It wasn't like a guilty pleasure, like I
Right.
watched Summer House on Bravo or something.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. No, it's...
So I'm glad you had that experience
Yeah.
with Alex.
yeah.
Because I think, especially, Josh, when that's like been your thing, and then you actually get to meet the person. And for Alex, it was Frank Sinatra. Alex loved Frank Sinatra, and he received a note from Frank Sinatra saying, "I watch your show, Alex. You're doing a great job." And he framed it and put it up on his wall. So that
great.
was like, and Alex was like, "Look, Frank Sinatra watches Jeopardy." And
Unbelievable.
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoop doop da doo, Alex. You're doing good here.
Hey, Alex, baby.
I'm at the smokehouse having pasta and steak.
That's right. I think Alex loves Frank's really smooth kind
Yeah.
of way of just kind of
I know.
coming in. One take. Alex also was a man that if he
Yeah.
did something, he liked to do it in one take. Don't.
You and me both.
God bless him. That's the way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Live to tape.
In the Italian household, it's the Pope and then Frank Sinatra, or you can
Right.
flip it if you want, depending on the household. The Frank Sinatra obsession is it's for Alex to get that note too.
Yeah.
You frame it. I had here's a Frank Sinatra story, real quick. So, moved into that apartment building that I lived for 12 years, right? And when I first moved in, there was 4 very, very old people in there. Like, I'm talking in their 90s.
Wow.
That were still living in this apartment building. And there was this woman, she was 2 apartments down from me, and I walked by her apartment every day. And there would be some days when she was sitting on her couch just like, and I'd be like,
Hello.
Are you
Are
okay?
you okay?
Are you, right.
right? Because I was worried about it.
Like, let me see
Yeah.
like your chest move.
Right.
Yeah, like,
Right.
looking for
Anything,
breathing, right? And so I became friends with her. Her name was Rebecca, and she was a sweetheart. And so she had this old bar in her apartment, like that only had 3 seats around it.
Oh yeah.
And it was this, this glass bar. You could tell she entertained people like back in the day in her apartment. And above the bar, there was a picture of Frank Sinatra, and it said, "Beck, thanks for everything, Frank." And I was like,
Wow.
"Whoa, you and Frank?" She's like,
Wow.
So when she passed, like maybe 2 years into me living there, she had this caretaker, and I was like, "Who gets that Frank Sinatra picture?" And he's like, "Are you kidding me? That was claimed 50 years ago."
Yeah,
Like,
I bet.
One
yeah.
person in her family got the Frank Sinatra picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think meeting your heroes is always really tough. I think it's and knowing your heroes, all that kind of thing, because we do put on a pedestal, right? And for me, that was that moment, right?
Yeah.
It was like I could meet a Pittsburgh Steeler, it'd be fine, whatever. But for me, it was Alex Trebek, right?
Yeah.
And anybody that watches any of my shows or any of our shows forever has known, like, when Alex passed, I got 100 phone calls and like 50 text messages just because I
Wow.
was such a big fan of not only the show but of Alex in general.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
A ginormous fan, and all the respect in the world too, because I know you shoot 5 shows a day. It's a hard job. It's a very difficult job, and to come across as somebody that not only is a is a genuine person. You know, some of those interviews are hilariously awkward and hilariously perfect.
Yeah.
And they're so quick. I mean, to even come across, and I think that's been the hardest part for some of these guest hosts, is to actually act like they care about the people. And I think Alex did that so deftly. It was always so fun. But also because so many people are so passionate about trivia and knowledge, for Alex to come across as like, I actually know these answers, even if we didn't.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, half the contestants didn't know a lot of the
Right,
answers. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he knew a lot.
Yeah.
He
was
on his
really
own right,
smart,
really
yeah.
bright man.
Yeah.
Because he was so curious.
Sure.
He was really curious about life and how things worked, why people would do something, and so I think Jeopardy was the perfect platform for him. He did not consider it worked. It was really a labor of love.
Sure.
You know, and how great is that you
Yeah.
can do something that you love.
Every day.
My friend calls it plurk. Like play
right,
and
right,
work
right.
together.
Yeah, I like a good plurk.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
You know, there's moments in people's lives when, you know, you have that fork in the road, right? Like things that you can take. And so when my buddy, one of my best friends from high school, was going to be a professional golfer. And I said, I want to be your caddy, right? This is when I was like 19, 20 years old. I was like, I'm going to be your caddy.
Wow.
I think you can do it. And he's like, I don't want that pressure on me. And I was like, because the caddy, it's a relationship.
It's a
He doesn't
team.
do well. I
Yeah.
don't do well.
Right.
Right. And vice versa. You know, like I can have an awful day out there, whatever. And he said, I can't have that kind of pressure on me. He made it, you know, all the way to the highest level of golf.
Wow.
And then, you know, golf is so hard. It's like any sport, being a professional for a long time is only for like the 0.0001% of people. And so we were talking a few years ago, and he's like, you know what? I should have let you be my caddy.
Really?
20 years too late.
All right.
But
Hindsight.
right?
Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020. Same thing as like when I went to college. I should have gone into had a broadcasting journalism major and gone in and done something like that.
What
But
was your major?
business logistics, international business.
Yeah, yeah.
I minored in German. I mean, who knows?
Really? No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. And then I went to Italy for my study abroad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because in high school,
Yeah.
you could go to Germany. So I started taking, but you had to know that early on. So you had to start taking German in the 5th and 6th grade. But you know, when you got to high
Wow.
school, you could go and live in this little town called Leverkusen, and it was an exchange. It was in between
Right.
Köln and Dusseldorf, and I was like,
Sure.
I want to do that. My
And you
brother
did
did
it.
it, and I did, and we did it, and we had an exchange student come with us, and I stayed with the
Right.
family in Leverkusen. So by the time I left Leverkusen, I was like very fluent in German. Like I could speak it
Nice.
pretty well. So I went to college, and I was like, this is easy. I'll pick up a minor, no big
Right.
deal. Parents are proud of me. And then when I was in the end of my junior year, I came back from Italy. I did my study abroad in Italy. Didn't even go to Germany with my, like, I'm going to go to Italy. That's
accent.
where my people are from. I'm going to Italy.
Right.
And so I went to Italy not knowing any other words but the swear words my grandparents used to yell at us.
Exactly.
And I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I was like, I'm going to tell my parents this is what I want to do. I'm going to get into entertainment. And my mom was like, my dad was like, you know what? Just do it. What do you,
Yeah.
you're 22. Just go do it.
Yeah.
And I think they thought by the time I turned 26 that I was going to like move back to Pittsburgh and sell cars.
Right, exactly.
Right.
For my
German
dad.
cars.
Yeah, of course.
So use it a little bit.
Well, Japanese cars. Like, I got to keep going.
Right.
And so but then, you know, I met with a professor at Penn State. I took a theater class, and he said, listen, if you don't do something that you love every single year, you're not doing it. Right?
Oh.
So
Wonderful
yeah,
advice.
wonderful advice,
Yeah.
right? And so each year that this career, this thing has gone on, something magical has happened. And I needed that Alex that year. I
That's
needed
amazing.
that magical moment at that
Right.
Sony studio for your husband to be like, you know what? Do it.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. And like those teen tournament parents were clapping. I'm walking out after, and the teen tournament guy was like, hey, that's the guy with the buttons. I was like, here's a button.
He
No
wants
big
the
deal.
job.
He wants the
He
job.
wants the job.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's, I think that what we're trying to do here, and I think what you all are trying to do, what we are actively doing, I don't want to say try, but like what we're actively doing is really just trying to every single day, that smile that we put on people's faces,
Yeah.
if only for a second. Like
Yeah.
you talk about, it's a choice. I say it at the end of every episode. You choose positivity. It's an active choice.
Right. That's exactly right.
That there are people out there that just sometimes need to hear it, just need to see it, need to
Yeah.
feel it, and
And you never know when it's going to click for someone.
That's
No.
right. That's
you know,
exactly
you
right.
don't know when you hold the door open for someone,
Yeah.
or you just say some kind thing to someone, and
Yeah.
it just shifts how they the trajectory of his day or her day.
Right. Yeah.
So
We want to start a thing called the Positivity Cart. We're just in a golf cart driving around Los Angeles and tell people they're doing great.
I think that's fantastic.
oh, look at
That's-
that!
They-
I'll go with you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
it would-
go.
It
We'll
would be
go.
a cross between.
Carpool karaoke.
That's right.
I knew where you were going.
Right.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Comedians and cars.
That's
Getting
it.
coffee. There you go.
There's-
That's the elevator pitch.
Right.
Ken, Gene just gave us the elevator pitch.
It's one of those things I love. This would be great. No, I'll be in the back with a bullhorn and Ed Asner.
Ed's everywhere.
Ed's
with us
everywhere.
now, right?
Yes. Our buddy Kingsport Cal chimes in with super chat. It says, Whitney said it best. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve because the greatest love of all is inside of me. Powerful song, Hey Gals.
That's
Very
right.
nice.
Kingsport Cal is a great guy from Johnson City,
That
Tennessee.
is right.
We have a lot of amazing fans in here, and you guys can support the show. The GPA.fun is our website, Streamlabs, Super Chat, all that kind of fun stuff. You can still get the sticks and picks. I'm going to give you guys guitar picks and stickers when you guys
We
leave.
love that.
I don't know if you play guitar, but if you want to pick it up, you can use my
I
face
love
to
that.
pick the guitar.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, so listen, one of the reasons I wanted to bring you guys in here is I know you do recipes.
Yes.
Oh, I do.
She's
yeah.
great cook.
Well, you should be a good
I'm
cook too.
terrible.
Get out of here.
You would think it's
Allison,
I
No,
know.
No.
Speak
I
to
will.
her.
I will kill
Speak
you.
to her.
an
I will
Irish
kill you.
girl
I
is out
get-
cooking in Italian.
right.
I'm
The
a good.
Italians should cater the Seder.
Correct.
Like,
Thank
no,
you.
From that is from
Ken,
Sebastian
put that on it.
Maniscalco.
What was it, Italians
should cater the Seder.
Should- right.
There you go.
Like-
Yes.
Put it down.
Are you a good cook?
Yes, because I have to be. Because my wife is not. She's gonna kill me for saying that. No.
My husband's a great cook.
See, there you go.
Oh,
True.
my
Dan
gosh.
is a great cook.
Dan's a great cook.
And Alex was a great cook. by
Was
the way.
he?
He was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was good in the kitchen.
What's his favorite thing to make?
Something called sluggo.
I'm on
What
board.
is sluggo?
Sluggo was if I made a roasted chicken the
Okay.
night before and there was leftovers, he would take it, chop it up, and then he would take some onions, peas, the chicken, chicken broth, make
Sluggo.
like it's like a chow mein.
Nice.
Like a Canadian chow mein over tons of overcooked white rice.
Oh my god.
Nice.
And,
That is nice. That is good.
and he would
Sluggo.
have that with a big glass of Chardonnay.
That's amazing.
Watch the Lakers.
Okay.
And be the happiest guy.
Sluggo.
it's a
on the
good
planet.
comfort food.
We
Yeah.
should make some slug.
Well,
My
He loved gravy.
gravy.
Alex was a gravy.
What's the poutine?
guy.
It's that
Yeah.
Canadian
Yeah,
gravy.
yes,
is
yes,
amazing.
yes.
Well, because you have to cook everything so hot because as soon as you take it out of the oven, it freezes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Right.
That's
Is that how that works in Canada?
definitely in Red Deer.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is
Red
that
Deer.
where you're from?
No, I had a friend who grew up in Red Deer, Alberta, but
There you
Ken's
go.
from Ken's from Pismo Beach.
Pismo Beach.
No,
guy.
is he? No,
He's
that's
the-
not close.
No. He's the Arroyo Grande legend. No, my wife always says to me, she's like, not everything can go together. I was like, yes, it can.
Yeah.
Just put some eggs in it and throw it in there. Because I make these smorgasbords all the time. Like leftovers, I just put it all together and I eat it. It's kind of like Sluggo.
That's Sluggo.
It's very Sluggo-ish.
Yeah.
And every time I'll be making something, he's like, you want avocado in there? She's like, avocado doesn't go in Chinese food. I was like, it could. We don't know that yet.
Right.
We haven't tried that out.
It could be new.
Be open to all possibilities.
Thank
That's
you, Gene.
correct.
Exactly.
When,
Okay.
when Alex finished cooking that, did he like poke his head in the living room and be like, Gene, Sluggo's on? Like
Yes.
pull up a big pot. And be
That's
like,
exactly. He'd say it's on. Sluggo's on.
Love it.
And he did not like if you were late to the table.
Really?
Because he would start eating.
And
Yeah.
I'm
You weren't
envisioning
there?
suit jacket with shorts.
Negative.
Okay.
Ripped jeans, ripped T-shirt,
Really?
baseball hat.
Okay.
Very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved what you did with. I want to get back to the cooking thing real quick. We were on the topic with the charity with Alex's suits. I thought
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
an amazing.
The dough fund?
Yeah.
Right. That all came from my son Matthew, who
Yeah.
lives in Harlem, New York,
Oh, wow.
and the Doe Fund is right around the corner.
Okay.
The Doe Fund, John Doe, so like a guy that you don't know their name.
Right.
So men that have been incarcerated come out,
Don't have. I mean,
need
it's
you
hard
know,
to get
right.
good clothes, anything to
Exactly.
get a job
But
interview.
that's
I
that
think is really important.
life-changing moment you're talking about, right? That can change someone's whole direction.
100%.
Feeling
Absolutely.
good in what you're presenting.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
If you never had the feeling of a new suit or a suit that fits you, for a
Right.
man, it's an unbelievable feeling. It really
Right.
is.
It really it's really for anyone, a
Totally.
woman,
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
It's empowering.
Totally.
You know, and so I think when I heard about that charity, I was like, this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing.
That's
you know?
fantastic. I mean, how many suits were there too?
Oh, he had a
Oh.
lot. Alex had a lot of suits. And because Alex threw nothing away.
Oh, he was a hoarder.
He was like a little pack rat.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
my
an
parents said
organized
that
pack
too.
rat.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knew where his stuff was.
I didn't know I was this connected to Alex Trebek.
You and Alex
Wow.
were the same person.
Sluggo, ripped jeans, baseball cap, and hoarding all my collectibles.
Yeah.
That's right.
And suits.
Yeah.
That's great.
Are you dumping Ed Asner right now? It sounds like
I
it a
think
little
I
bit.
The my parents are big pack rats, and my brother and I it was like a year ago. My dad has an office with tons of stuff on all of his shelves. Like these shelves are just packed with everything. My dad collects soldiers, and he collects hats, and he collects helmets.
Wow.
And you know, we have a huge family 4th of July party every year, so that's why we're going back to Pittsburgh. And we couldn't have it last year. Obviously, everybody's really bummed about it. And we have this thing. It's called the deck toss. And my dad found this game, and there's 3 trash cans in the yard, and you throw empty beer cans into them. And then
Oh
you get
my gosh.
10 beer cans. It's 1, 2, and 3 points. There's a women's division. There's a men's division. The trophy's named after my grandpa who passed away, and the other trophy's named after my aunt who passed away for the women's division. And it's like a family
Thing.
like bragging race.
Olympics.
Like we get plaque. I mean, your name's on a plaque when you win it. And so my dad comes out every round in a new outfit and hat that he's collected over that previous year, right? And my brother and I were looking at all these hats and all these soldiers and like into the attic, and and we're looking at it, and we both thought the same thing at the same time. What the fuck are we gonna do with all this shit?
Yes, yes.
What are we gonna do with all
Yeah.
this shit? And thank goodness there are charities that are taking things. Like, "Hey, let's give
Yes.
all of these soldiers to kids. I don't care if they're worth anything. Just take them. I can't sell them on eBay.
That is right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay, so you do the recipes. Okay, so I need to
Right.
tell you.
Okay.
The reason that my wife married me, and I could call her and she might tell you something different, but I'm pretty sure the reason my wife married me is for my pasta carbonara.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Love that.
Okay.
It's a
now,
little fattening, but I
it,
love it.
it is very fattening, especially the way
Do you have
I
a good
make it.
recipe you want to give us?
Yeah, well, I want to come and cook it with you guys, and we'll film it.
Oh.
I would love
We'll
that.
film it. We'll put it on our channel, and then we can put the recipe on your site.
That would be
What do you guys
great.
think?
I would
about that.
love that.
Yeah.
Great
So,
idea.
I learned it in Rome from my uncle, who's still there. He's a doctor.
Nice.
And I came over for dinner the first time. Not blood related. Well, sort of blood related. It's, you know, my mom's sister's husband's uncle.
Right?
But you know, Italians, everybody's related to somebody somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is why you don't marry an Italian girl if you're an Italian guy. He's like, I think we might be related.
Cousins.
Exactly.
right.
So he taught me the pasta carbonara, and then over the years I've like experimented and perfected. It's in my aunt did a family cookbook.
Wow.
My carbonara is in there.
Really?
Yeah, all my great grandma and my grandma's recipes are all in there. My aunts, everybody's got a recipe for something. You should see the sauce section. It's like 120 pages. It's
Sauce,
just everybody's
yeah.
different sauce.
Yeah.
I make a sauce that's completely different to my mom's, and my mom makes ones that are different to her mom. Everybody's got their like one little pinch in the sauce. My mom's a little too watery. I'll tell her that to her face.
Right.
But her chicken parm's unbelievable, and her brajol is like out of this world.
Oh, chicken parm, yeah.
But I will make the pasta
Okay.
carbonara because when people come. People are like, hey, we want to come to dinner. Will you make the pasta with the bacon? I'm like, yeah, I'll make the pasta with the bacon. No problem. So I made the pasta carbonara for my wife like on our 3rd date. I was like, I want to cook for you.
That was the clincher, right?
And then, because I think she thought I was too much of like a bro-y frat guy at that point. She
Yeah.
was like, he's 34 and he still acts like such an idiot. And I was like, well, let me grease the
Right.
wheels. Because I did show up on our first date. She thought we were going to someplace very nice. And I showed up in like jeans and a Penguins t-shirt. And we went and got tacos. So I didn't like start hot. We met at an engagement party.
You left a lot of room for growth.
right. You didn't want to be
Yes.
disappointed.
You sound
right,
like my
right.
mother. Yes, thank you, Gene.
Only go up. From
only
here.
go up.
Right.
And so by the 2nd date, she was like, are we just going to keep going to get tacos? And I was like, I'm not. You want to go to Barney's Beanery? Like, that's my local bar. I was like, you want to go there? Do some karaoke?
Good thing you didn't say Hooters.
That was Ken's first date. That's where Ken took
I've only been there once. It was a great date.
it. It was a great date.
Are you married?
No.
He's engaged.
Engaged, but with no wedding coming. So we're like.
But
forever family.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
And
great.
His fiance is on the show every Wednesday. Great.
Really?
Yeah, she's
How
amazing.
lovely.
Very talented actress and an awesome person. Just
That's
one of the best.
fantastic.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well,
And a
now, was
witch.
it love at first sight with you two?
Oh yeah.
For you?
Well, yeah. So we were at
For
this.
her?
I don't think so.
Yeah. You know.
Well, she's told that story of just him walking into the date with like sandals, jeans. What was that
It was jeans and flip-flops and a Penguins t-shirt.
on your first date?
On
yeah.
first date, I'd had a couple beers during the Penguins game before that. I went to go.
Yeah.
I
You were
walked.
primed.
I
You were
walked down, and I was like,
primed
"Let's go get tacos." And she was like, "Really?" She
Right.
and my wife dresses unbelievable. She's like a fashionista. She showed. I opened the door. I was like, "Uh-oh,
Right.
that's not good."
Well, yeah.
Let's just call Amanda real quick and see if it was love at first sight. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't know if it was.
This always goes well.
Yeah, this.
Always
It's,
goes
it's always good. You'll probably hear a baby. Well, she might be taking a little nap right now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm watching the show.
Hello. How are you? Hi.
Is there some glitch? What's going on?
No, we want to know. Well, you're. That's how YouTube works. You're a few seconds behind. They want to know if it was love at first sight for you.
Absolutely not. But I love you now a lot.
But she loves me now a lot. Okay, I'll
That's
I'll
great.
take that. And was the pasta carbonara the deal sealer?
Definitely. Oh, it's so delicious. I still fall in love with you a little more every time you make it.
Oh, I
How
love
nice.
that.
There we go.
Congratulations on Rosie.
Yes.
Oh, there.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. It's so much fun. It's just the best.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Goes
And
fast.
we'll bring Rosie over and we'll all cook together.
Love
Love
that.
it.
Okay. Awesome.
Indeed.
All right, love you, babe.
All right, love you.
Bye.
Bye. But you felt love at first sight.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So we were at my best friend's.
I love these stories.
We were at my best friend's engagement party. I was the best man in his wedding, and my now wife was really good friends with his now wife, and we didn't know each other, and Amanda and I didn't know each other, and Kayla had kept a lot of her girlfriends just separate from Tanner's friends, right? And so after I was like, why didn't you ever introduce me to Amanda? And she's like, well, you were like the Barney's Beanery guy. She's like not that guy.
She's high-end.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is. You're a little,
Yeah.
you're Pittsburgh. She's Carmel, California.
Right.
So we start talking, and at this engagement party, it was a kickball engagement party. It was outdoor at a park.
Oh, that's fun.
And the on my way to the engagement party, I was like, I'm gonna get a haircut. This is back when I had hair, and I was like, I went to a barber I'd never been before. I was like, just short on the sides and longish on top.
Oh,
and he
no.
went a 0 on the side, and I couldn't stop. I wasn't paying. I didn't speak. It wasn't 0 on the side, and left like a
mohawk.
like a marine mohawk on top of my head. And I showed up to this engagement party, and my buddy looked at me. He's like, "What the hell happened to your hair?" He's like, "You're meeting half of the wedding party. All these people are going to think you're on leave." I'm like, I was like, "I know, it's terrible. Should I go get a hat?" He's like, "Do you have one?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh no, you can't get a hat." And then his wife was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Did you have a breakdown? Did you have a Britney Spears?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." So we start talking, and we were drinking and playing kickball, and I'm loud enough, we're doing. And Amanda was supposed to be paying. She was on my team. She just over there talking to her friends, like, "Are you gonna pay attention?" This game. She's like, "You're just drinking strawberries. Shut up." So kickball game goes on, and we were going to Scottsdale for his bachelor party, and she was like, "Oh, I went to Scottsdale for a bachelorette party." I was like, "Oh, well, you should give me your number. I'll get some recommendations for it." I've never asked her a question about Scottsdale in my entire
Ever.
life.
Right.
We've been there 3 times since, and I've never gotten her advice on
How
anything.
long have you been married?
We got married in 2017, so coming up on
Okay.
September of 2017.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Congratulations.
great.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I got very lucky. It took me a long time to find it, but when I did, I held on for dear life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you know, you know.
Me too. 28 years
Look
the other
at you.
week. Yeah, very lucky.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
How did you and Alex meet?
Oh.
We
You had a button at a taping of Jeopardy.
Right.
Right.
I had a button.
She
that
wanted
said-
the job.
that says, I want to be the wife of Alex. So I was working for Alex's best friend
Okay.
in Malibu, California. I was going to Pepperdine, and
Who's that?
someone
me.
wants
It's
to
a
join
doorbell.
us.
Tony wants to know.
And Alex was there all the time.
Okay.
Just like his best friends, and I was dating someone else, and then he just was like,
Enough of
"Call
that
me,
guy.
call me Uncle Alex," and
Call
I was
me
like, "This guy is weird," and he would look over my shoulder. "What are you working on?" And at that time, I was doing all the QuickBooks back
Oh,
then in the
okay.
early '80s, and
Sure.
and I was just like, "Alex, go be with your friend. Leave me alone." And he'd be questioning everything what, oh, look at you. Do you like numbers? I was like,
He was a real flirt, Ken.
what
He was a real
is
flirt.
this?
Flirt, flirt, flirt.
And you were dating somebody else?
I was dating someone else,
kicked the
and
curb.
yeah, and a lot was going on in my life in my early 20s.
Okay.
I went through a major down
Okay.
spiral,
Yeah.
and just a lot. And but Alex was my friend for a long time.
Oh,
We were not intimate right out the gate.
Yeah.
We were friends.
okay.
I knew his mom.
Wow.
I would drive Alex to the airport, and
Look at
just
you.
like we were just friends. But I think we talked a lot, and
Okay.
I think Alex really liked that I did not know Jeopardy. I was not starstruck,
Sure.
and he said I played hard to get, but I really wasn't. I was healing from a lot of stuff,
Okay.
and my brother passed away.
I'm
It was
sorry.
just,
Yeah.
so I wasn't really into Alex Trebek or.
Yeah.
But we were good. So we had a great foundation
There you go.
as friends. Yeah.
So you didn't just text him, or he didn't just text you for 3 weeks and not ask you out? That was
Yeah.
what I did. With
Alex barely used his cell phone.
So he was like, my dad, got it.
It was in the glove compartment most of the time.
For emergencies. only,
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
With no battery.
Just
It's the
useless.
flip kind.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
What does your husband do, Allison?
He's an actor. We're actors.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
Yeah.
And do you guys meet on a set?
He played my dog in a play. Is that true? Yeah. We were in a Peter Tolan play, and he played my dog, and he licked my face, and I was like, oh wow, this
Uh-oh.
is bad news.
Ken, little we know, we just got to lick faces more
Yeah,
often.
there you go.
That's,
Yeah, that's
the
true.
key now.
That's
Too
true.
late for me, but yeah.
For me, it was like he walked in the room, and I'm like, oh, that's the guy. There it is.
Yeah.
And so
But
that
you
was
said
it.
you knew.
I knew right
You
away.
knew. I did not know with Alex.
Okay.
But Alison knew.
Right
So you were friends for a long time, and then
Friends for a long time, and then I was going to go away. Am I
To
speaking?
where?
What was I doing? I just told him I wasn't, Oh, no, I remember, Josh. He asked me to move in with him.
what?
And I said no. Really, because I just didn't have my act together.
Okay.
And he said to me, well, then a few days later, he said, I would like to marry you on my birthday.
Whoa.
I love that though,
So,
Jeannie.
Ah,
I love
that's an
that.
amazing story.
That was it.
And that was it.
And that was 31 years ago.
Unbelievable. 2 kids.
2 kids, 2 great kids.
Yeah.
Great kids.
That's awesome. Boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. Matthew is 30.
Okay.
Emily's 27. Matthew lives in Harlem, New York.
Okay.
Has 2 restaurants with a wonderful partner.
That's amazing.
And Emily works in real estate, flipping homes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here in LA.
Here in LA.
Okay. Amazing.
And interior design.
And Allison, you?
2 kids. M works at Cartoon Network,
Oh,
and
cool.
they're
They're like right over here in Burbank.
Right.
loves animation.
Oh, that's amazing.
Really amazing artist. And Brady, who's at Occidental.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, does
Right
computer
on.
science.
Amazing.
College.
Great kids, very, very funny.
Yeah.
Funny,
Well,
funny, great kids.
you gotta kinda-
You know,
college.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
funny.
yeah. And do you like Canada, G?
I do. Go Canada.
Do you
I
like
do.
the whole country, Gene?
I always thought.
No.
I'm telling you, when I was 11,
Native land.
that's my dad's favorite song. I'm telling you, when I was like 11, Alex said something about Canada and Jeopardy. My dad's like, he's Canadian.
Did you feel let down?
The whole collective Pittsburgh house was like, wow. And then, but our 2 favorite Pittsburghers of all time are Canadians, or hockey players, Mary Lemieux and Sidney Crosby. So we have an affinity for the Great White North. And my best friend, who I met my wife at his engagement party, is from Saskatchewan. So
there you go.
A very personal connection to Canada. But I always thought it was so funny when people would find out that Alex Trebek was Canadian.
Why?
Because everybody thought he was like Mr. America. Because
Oh,
it's Jeopardy.
I think well, that's true. But he really professed his love
All the time.
for Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was very proud to be a Canadian. And I think because Canada represents that kindness and that,
Totally.
just
Yep.
be open and kind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean, I don't know. I love Canada. I know there's not. I just always thought it was funny
Yeah.
because my dad, was just like, I can't believe he's Canadian, because he doesn't sound Canadian. We always think that
Right.
you get that accent, but he just when you were in an American household every night,
Yeah.
everybody thinks you're
You assume,
American. You
yeah.
just assume.
Yeah.
Did Lucille have an accent?
She had a little bit. Lucille's Alex's mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had a little bit of an accent.
I love
you
that
know.
name, Lucille. Such a good one.
Yeah.
They call her Lucy or just
Lucille and actually Matthew, my son, named one of his restaurants in
Yeah.
Harlem, New York, Lucille's.
Oh, get
after
outta
Alex,
here.
Yeah.
after his grandmother.
Is it Italian?
No, it's not. It's just a coffee and cocktails.
But there's a pizza store next door.
and a great pizza shop.
right.
Yeah.
I got it. Where in Harlem?
All I'm going to say is Amsterdam and 140th.
Okay.
So
got
right
it.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lived right after college. I went to New York for almost 2 years, and then
Did you
came
live
out
in
here.
Manhattan?
I did. We lived like Little Italy.
Yeah,
Couldn't
yeah,
get
yeah.
Italian out there.
Oh, Ferraras.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
right? Oh,
Love
man.
that.
I used to work at the Spring Lounge, which is on the corner of Spring
Yep.
and Mulberry, right across the street from Pomodoro,
Yeah.
Right?
which has the best. It's the most underrated slice in New York because it's vodka sauce. It's that spicy vodka
Yep.
sauce,
Yep.
and it's like a thick. Ooh, it's good. We could talk about food all day.
But
We're
I
gonna-
did a national tour and we were in Pittsburgh and we loved
It's an
Pittsburgh.
amazing town.
Loved it.
I love being from there. I don't think I
Mm-hmm.
could ever live there again. I'm not saying that I can't live there. I'm saying I don't think I could.
Why? Cold?
Yeah, you just get so used to the nice weather.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I
We
told
pay
my
for it here.
yeah.
Yeah.
My only hobby is golf, and you can't golf all year round.
yeah.
In Pittsburgh, I mean, I guess I could build a simulator in a basement somewhere, but you know what I mean. It's,
You have that. You have that right there.
we do. We have this
That's
here.
nice, right?
Yeah, you just get addicted to the weather out here, and you know, as a Pittsburgh kid, I've always wanted to live in Los Angeles my whole life.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm here, and
Now
we're
it
doing
goes below 60, and we're like, it's
Oh my
freezing
God!
out.
Turn on the heat.
Right, the seat warmers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're
Freezing.
yeah, it's insane. All right, let's do some videos that make me smile, and then we can get out of here. Thank you both for coming in. I've had an amazing
You're
time
so
talking to you.
Our pleasure.
You guys are just so great.
What a great
thanks.
team.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful men
Anytime.
here.
We try.
You succeed. I wish you weren't so shy.
Yeah.
Really
He's
come
so
out
quiet.
of come out of your.
He's so quiet.
Yeah, you know. All right, so yesterday at Wimbledon, this woman got a standing ovation because she was one of the people that developed the COVID vaccine.
Is that
Pretty
true?
amazing. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I
Pretty
love
amazing.
that.
That's
Right?
nice.
Oh, that gives me chills.
I know, right?
Wow. Does she know that they're applauding for her?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, look, she's
Yeah, they
into
announced
it.
it over the
Yeah,
speaker.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Now-
yeah,
now
stand
it's-
up.
yeah.
Wow.
Have you been to Wimbledon?
There she is.
No. Oh,
Oh, look at her.
very
So cool, right? I listened to
nice.
some of the stories about some of the doctors that developed it, and one of the doctors, she came from Bulgaria, or Belarus or Bulgaria, one of the
Wow.
two, and she struggled trying to get this mRNA that they use in the
Right.
vaccine now off the ground for 30 years, from hospital to hospital to hospital, and finally, she had the opportunity to use it, and she developed the Pfizer vaccine.
Wow.
That's
Unbel-
wonderful.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Never, she's like, I just never took no for an answer.
See, humans are great. Come on.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right? That's the next show.
Yeah, and somebody said to her, "Do you think it was because you were a woman?" She said, "Absolutely not. It was because nobody believed in my idea."
Right.
And then here she is.
There it
Right.
is. That's
saving
there
the,
it is.
saving the world.
Yeah.
All right, what's next, Ikeka? This one. Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
Oh,
what?
she is dreaming.
I'll watch.
That's like Luna.
Do you have a little dog?
We have a pit
big
bull.
dog.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that does that.
And
in
then
her
look.
sleep.
Hello, dog. You're okay. It's okay.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
so
so precious.
sweet.
So
That's
sweet.
so sweet.
Right? And then we got one more, Ikeka?
We got 3 more.
3 more. Oh, well, here we go.
Hold on.
I
don't know
love
why
that.
You know what Grandpa taught me?
All right, now this is Serena Williams.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
this.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
With her little daughter?
Back,
Look at a little
So-
hip movement.
reach, hand, follow through. That's very complicated for a 3-year-old, but you might get it.
No, watch.
Bounce hit. Good job. Bounce hit. Good job. Ready? Run. Go, go, bounce hit.
And look at her turn
Almost,
around.
almost.
I love
So
that.
cute. I know I'm
That
not.
is so cute.
Yeah.
That little girl is 3?
3.
Is she
Wow.
tall?
I mean, Serena
Look
Williams
how
is tall.
cute she
They're
is.
adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better player than me already.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that sad?
What's next? You got good.
Is this an emotional day for you?
Very, very emotional.
You just hear how excited he is.
Look at his
Oh,
dad.
yes.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Very.
Yes. Oh, yes.
just
Scream.
can't.
I
Scream.
know.
Is this an emotional day for you?
I'd be screaming.
Right? Your son makes it to majors and hits a home run
Did you
as you're on
I
camera.
got chills.
First game,
I
right?
have
Yeah, look.
chills, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you see all the families with the Olympic trials?
Oh, yeah.
The parents?
It's
when you're a
amazing.
parent, you go, oh my God, like I was crying at some of those parents.
Listen, my parents had to sit through hundreds, maybe even thousands of swim meets
Right.
growing up. So I was a swimmer. It's
Right.
the most boring sport on the planet for a spectator because my action was all of like 2.5 minutes over an 8-hour period. Just like it was just nothing to it.
And it's like underwater.
Underwater.
You're
They
not
can't-
even a gymnast.
So every 4 years, their kids have one chance
Mm-hmm.
to make it to the ultimate level. Like all of that parental, all that training, everything. Same baseball. You spend your whole life traveling from town to town with your
Yeah.
kid that loves this sport. You're in the summer heat. I remember my dad being like, "You sure you want to keep doing this?"
Yeah,
the pool
yeah.
is like a lot more.
Right.
And so then they see it's just such a cool moment for any parent. I
Right.
mean, whatever Rosie wants to do, I will be that screaming dad in the crowd. So
That's beautiful.
right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
This is for you because you love
Costco.
Costco.
I'm
This
my
is-
first time at Costco was 2 months ago.
This is Costco in Japan. $39 for a whole year membership.
what?
Seriously?
Look at
Oh, look at all that
Wow.
sushi. They're finally doing it. Have you guys had the chicken bake at Costco? Oh my god.
No.
What is a chicken bake?
It's like what Hot Pockets were meant to be.
Seriously?
Oh.
It's like this big. It's huge.
One.
One of them. It's like a wrapped hoagie. It's covered in like a crispy cheese.
Right.
Inside is chicken, bacon, cheese, and Caesar dressing.
Wow.
It's real.
Well,
It's
Josh.
like
Sounds
Sluggo
good.
in a.
It's like a
In
turducken.
a,
Yes.
in a
Right.
Yeah,
dough.
correct. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up? Ika?
Japan doesn't have chicken bakes; they have bulgogi bakes.
Oh, what is that?
Like
What is
bulgogi.
that?
It's like
bulgogi,
the
like Korean beef.
Korean beef.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
eat beef, so
Okay.
yeah, that's I wouldn't know.
It's
but
not
it
what's for
sounds
dinner.
it sounds good. Right? That's right. That's right.
Sorry. You guys got a cheesy joke on your way out. Thank you both so much. Guys, go to InsideWink.com. Check out Jean and Allison. They do
Yeah.
amazing work. We're going to do that pasta carbonara video sooner than later.
Would love that.
That's
Invite
wonderful.
anybody you want over. It comes in servings of 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, 4 pound. So
Are
however
we,
many
are we
people-
doing the golf cart with you too?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Whenever we can get that off the ground.
Okay.
We got to get somebody to donate a golf cart, or we'll just buy one. I don't figure. Keep up the amazing work.
Thank you so much, and you too.
Josh.
Thank you,
This
thank
has
you.
been
You
a
too.
real treat.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Yeah,
it's been
thank you.
Wonderful.
You're welcome back anytime. Maybe we'll do a Josh Birdie.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in today on the Positivity Report. We'll see you tomorrow. Grace Hancock will be in studio. Back. She's been shooting a movie, so we'll talk a little bit about that as much as she can, kind of talk about it. And remember, every single day you choose positivity. It's an active choice. Call somebody, text them,
That's
tell them
right.
you love them. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good. See you
Yep.
tomorrow.